Rhymes Concerto.
It's good, family. Anybody that's going to check this out on the live, on the replay, I appreciate it. Whether it be Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, I appreciate it. It's a different kind of day today, you know. I actually should probably be feeling a little bit better than I'm feeling, but I don't feel bad, but I'm a bit conflicted with a few things, and I do appreciate everybody's patience with the way the streams have been coming. The commentary that they've been giving me has been beautiful. By the People Media, peace, family. It's always a pleasure to have you in the house. I felt the need to get up here today and speak on something. And I didn't do my homework before, and I like to do that. As a matter of fact, I will do that before I get to cooking. We lost someone today. Okay, I'm finding out his name right now. And I guess he is known as DJ Twitch, born Stephen Laurel Boss. And he's met an untimely death by suicide. And this is a brother that I've seen several times on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and I only knew him as that. So I don't really know other things that he did in the DJ world, but I saw him, and what I knew of him is he was always of a very happy nature. I mean, he just looked like he was always good-spirited, happy-spirited. So to hear about him taking himself out, it's kind of strange to me. And then to talk to Ray and hear her talk about his most recent social media post, he just looked like he was so happy. And it's what I really try to explain to people, what someone looks like in public, the persona that they might put out on social media is really not always what's popping with people. And Twitch obviously was loved by many for his craft, DJing, for his spirit. But obviously there weren't people that knew of his inner pain, which led to his demise. And I'm a person that I feel like it's a selfish act in many ways to take yourself out if you've got kids and grandkids and family around you who love you. But that torment cannot be judged. That torment cannot be spoken negatively about, because you just don't know what's going through somebody's mind for them to bring themselves to the point of deleting themselves and leaving their family without. I mean, they're never going to have this man in their house again. His kids are never going to be able to run to the bedroom and get their daddy. He'll never take them to school again. He'll never take them on vacations again. They'll never sit up and watch movies with him and his wife. And I believe Ray even said that they were talking about having a fourth child just most recently. So I'm not sure exactly where he was and what state he was to be in that position to take himself out, but I can only imagine what state his wife is in, what state his children are in. It's an incredible thing. It's an incredible loss to know that he affected so many people so positively. My timeline is burning with his picture on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. People are rest in peace all over the place. So he was much more to other people than he was to me. Like I said, I saw him several times on Ellen DeGeneres, but he obviously did other things. And the cast that I had to get up today was really significant in my mind. And I wanted to promote health among what right now I believe is just, it's a lost situation, but we have to find it. We can't lose it forever. And it's the respect for sexual activity. Where we are right now, and I pulled this off of Black to the Block. It says health officials see disturbing spikes in sexually transmitted diseases in Georgia. Now, I've already heard about the sexually transmitted disease spikes in Michigan because I'm in Michigan. And I've heard about them in Texas. And I've heard about them in Florida. I've heard about them in Nevada. All the places that a lot of people will go for vacations. A lot of people go there for the getaways, for the All-Star games, for the Super Bowls and whatnot and things like that. So they generally go down there and have illicit sexual behaviors and then come back to their native lands, their native territories. And where we had respect, at least the respect to use proper contraception and to protect ourselves, not only from pregnancy, but from diseases, I don't even see that working on a basic end. And things are just so out of pocket with young people nowadays. I mean, we had the fear of God put in us when we felt like one of our own came across with this situation. When Urban Magic Johnson came across with HIV, it like literally put a stop to a lot of people and slowed a lot of people up. Like, whoa, if Magic could get it, anybody can get it. But now we've gotten to a place where sexual behavior is not only not respected, not revered as something that you should definitely take the necessary precautions to protect yourself, not only from pregnancy, but sexually transmitted diseases. We are seeing ridiculous spikes in it throughout the country, throughout places where people travel for 2, 3, 5, 7-day getaways, meet up with people that they've never been around, never been with, and then have unprotected sex. I don't understand that. I don't understand that life. But we're here now. So I wanted to promote, and obviously coming from the male side, all I can really say is you've got to clean yourself. As a man, you've got to take care of that thing like you take care of no other part of your body, really. I mean, if you're talking about inserting that into someone else's body, into a young lady out here, man, let me tell you something. If you're not going to do the right thing, don't do the thing at all. Don't do the thing at all. If you're not going to protect yourself first by cleaning yourself, clean that thing daily. Clean it more than once. And I know that we have a part population that is uncircumcised and part of the population is circumcised. And frankly, I don't know that uncircumcised life. But from what I hear, there's different things that you need to do when you are uncircumcised. And for those who are uncircumcised, you know those things to do. And you need to be teaching your youngins if they are uncircumcised. And you need to be talking to other youngins who are uncircumcised. This is part of mentoring. This is part of mentoring. This is part of the wisdom, the ism that you got to give to the young. You just can't talk to them about sports. You just can't talk to them about music. You just can't talk to them about that good stuff. You got to talk to them about this stuff right here. This stuff right here really means something. But are you in a position to talk to these youngins that way? Are you putting yourself in a position to be able to go at a youngin and be like, look, man, you messing around out here? Are you messing around out here? If you are not, then that's one thing. If you are, then we need to talk. What up, though? And where I am seeing a problem is with the younger, that 20 to 30 group. Y'all in a way right now. Y'all really in a way, because you don't look at sexual activity as something that is not only special, but should be respected, as if your body won't take some type of metamorphosis if you do the wrong thing. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it has been. I mean, we had Freaknik in Atlanta. I can't even imagine. I'm sure they weren't calculating in the way they calculate things now, but I bet you Freaknik caused more sexually transmitted disease spikes. I'm trying to tell you. Freaknik caused a lot of stuff back in the day. Whether we know it or not, whether we want to believe it or not. Yeah, there was probably plenty of women that were impregnated during Freaknik, but how many of them got herpes? How many of them got gonorrhea? I mean, people hit the clinic after they hit Freaknik. You hit Freaknik, then you hit clinic. It makes no sense. What's up, cuz? I was checking you out, checking your mental health space out. I had to jump on here, though. Everybody's casting today. Everybody looking beautiful out here today. But once again, rest in power to DJ Twitch. Stephen Laurel Boss. We losing too many, y'all. We losing too many. And It starts with genital health, taking care of that lower region. You got to hit below the belt the right way. Clean bodies can take care of a lot of things. Just cleanliness, basic cleanliness. You hear me? But when you don't have that basic cleanliness about yourself, you're allowing other things to creep in. And we've talked and joked about pH balances on a lot of my spaces. But I really want to be serious with this today, because as I move towards these relationship spaces, people don't really understand. I'm not trying to tear anybody's relationship up. I'm trying to keep it going. And I'd love to see people have conventional relationships and not have multiple sexual partners as a regular way of living. But if you are going to have multiple sexual partners, then you at least need to do the right thing. It's just not something we can take for granted any longer. And I wanted to talk about the pH balance, which is very important in a woman because it dictates a lot. We've talked about this before. The pH balance in a woman dictates her vaginal health. And you can either be highly acidic, highly toxic, or you can be balanced out. And in talking to young ladies, when joking back and forth becomes a sincere thing, you kind of know that you done touched upon some things that are probably going on with their vaginal health. And I personally don't get into a lot of these conversations with young women because that's not really my place. I have vessels who are able to talk to them and have those discussions with them. Being a father of daughter, you kind of know your place. You kind of know where you need to be. And although I can be there for certain parts of the conversation, it's not a comfortable thing to be there for all of the conversations. Absolutely. It's supposed to be acidic. But it's not supposed to be toxic. It's not supposed to be toxic, and that's what we're talking about. Toxicity is a bad thing. Some of y'all comments ain't gonna be able to come up today, it looks like. But we had sex ed in schools. We had people that we could talk to in schools. And I don't know if all of those people are even there in schools. After seeing and talking to a principal of a middle school today and seeing how shorthanded they are, do they even have a lot of this stuff going on at schools? This is why I want to talk about it, because it might not be something that we can really rely on the schools talking about anymore. This stuff may have to come out of the schools and into the community centers and hell, even into the churches. I know churches don't like to talk about premarital sex. They don't like to talk about teenage sex. They don't like to talk about sex until you're married, but guess what's happening in churches? Premarital sex, teenage sex, sex before they get married. Absolutely. But I don't believe they are, Kimi. I don't believe they are. After school specials are not really fruitful for sales and marketings for TV stations. So I think the after school specials need to be where the real media is now, and the real media is online. I don't expect this to garner a lot of traction talking about genital health. But the bigger platform, social media, is taking over and becoming the mass media. Oh, yeah. People talking about weed in church? Absolutely. They talking about weed in church. Jamal Bryant wants people that smells like weed. What he needs to be worrying about is what that young girl's vaginal canal smells like. What's going on in the toxicity levels of her vaginal canal? Now, he might not be the one to deal with it, but he can get one of the missionaries to take care of it, one of the prophetess to take care of it. All churches got a nurse. Have her go to the nurse. Have her go to the nurse. The girls in church are physically virgins, but they're miles behind, hands, feet. Hey, and I don't even know if they are physically virgins. I mean, let's be honest. If they sticking it in one hole, they sticking it in another hole. Ain't no orifice off limits at this point. Ain't no orifice off limits at this point. But when we talk about vaginal health, we have to understand that if that's not clean, you probably not cleaning the rest of your body. And I know a lot of these kids, they don't wash themselves properly. They don't wash themselves frequently. And that's not their fault. That's the parents' fault. When your parents not making sure that you're bathing properly and efficiently, they are indeed a bad parent. Yeah, I know. But there's something to be said about having an intact hymen. There's something to be said about that. And I'm not really on that right now. What I am trying to maintain is the want and the need for men and women to have clean genital health. And where so much of the responsibility is put on the woman because she does carry possibly the eventual child if she does get pregnant. But what she really carries is that disease. We hear a lot of women having diseases, not knowing about it, having multiple sexual partners, and then all those people that she had sex with get the disease, but she's the carrier. She's the transmitter. But they're the ones out there spreading it because they having sex with her, they having sex with other women. And that disease is in that nest that we call a vagina. Nah. And the pandemic is being cited for many of the reasons for the heightened sexual activity. It wasn't like people weren't having sex before COVID, but people really got busy with getting busy during COVID. You had all that idle time. Kids weren't going to school. People weren't going to work. So they had to do something. I mean, they didn't have to, but they did. And it's an unfortunate thing. And promoting healthy vaginal health, and these are numbers that I'm sure can be found anywhere if you're going to put in pH balance, vagina health, whatever. But from what I know, 3.5 to 4.5 pH levels is where you need to be. So let's say we put it right there in the middle. If you're sitting at 4.0, you should be pretty good with maintaining good vaginal health. At this optimum pH level, your vagina contains a balance, necessary bacteria, and some yeast cells. So there should be bacteria in the vagina, but just not too much. There should be some yeast cells in the vagina, but I guess not too much. This delicate balance can easily be disturbed. And we've talked about that, about pH balances being disturbed. These are basic things that some kids don't get, whether it be from their mothers, their grandmothers, their sisters, their aunties. A lot of fathers probably back away from these discussions if they do not have to have them because it's so invasive for a young child, young girl to talk about these things. That's why you always need to incorporate. If the mama ain't there, you incorporate. You got a sister, their auntie, you got your mama, your grandmama, her grandmama. Somebody needs to be able to talk to these young ladies about that. But it is on both males and females to be concerned, but kids aren't concerned about genital health. They concerned about TikTok. They concerned about Snapchat. They concerned about IG, Twitter. But we're not having these discussions at home the way we should be, and that's a problem. So it brings it to people like me to put this up. Put something like this up. Shout out to all my people on the Ypsilanti pages. Shout out to all my people on the Ann Arbor pages. I wonder if other cities have their own Facebook page. I've never really gone outside of Ann Arbor or Ypsilanti to see if Chelsea has a Facebook page or if Dexter has a Facebook page or Saline has a Facebook page or Whitmore Lake has a Facebook page or Milan has a, I don't know. Maybe I should check that out because I should absolutely be including them. But yes, this is on both males and females, but who it's really on is the parents. It's really on the parents. The parents need to be dictating this because we're talking about youngins that are not up on everything. Standing out in front of this school each day, I'm learning some things. I'm learning that all these kids aren't bathing properly. I'm learning that all these kids aren't taking care of their hair. Their clothes aren't all clean. A lot of them ain't got books and backpacks. I'm learning this. What's good, Tony D? Appreciate you coming through. Definitely get back on this. We're working our way through the relationship. And I'm trying to find a good balance, not just a pH balance, but a good balance to be able to talk about these things because it's essential in our world. It says when this balance is disturbed, vaginal problems like feminine odor, discomfort are more likely to occur. When a feminine pH is unbalanced, odor causing microorganisms can flourish. These are things that young mothers need to be paying attention to with young girls. You know your body, you know their body. And if somebody's thinking, you need to be thinking. Something else that I put up here. How do you tell if her pH balance is off? These are easy symptoms. Some are kind of gross. Some are kind of gross. And that's what you should be doing out here. You go to somebody who's got that tool and they can talk to your boys. See, everybody can't do stuff like that. Everybody can't back it down. And we got a lot of misandry in this world now. Like I said, I've said that word more in the last 3 to 6 months than I've ever said it. But you shouldn't be so proud to where you can't go to a man and say, look, I need somebody to talk to this boy about this thing because he don't really understand what's going on. And I need somebody to be able to help him and I'll make him understand how to properly clean himself. And we have so many broken families where we got men raising the daughters and we got the women raising the men and it's all flipped around. That's why I say it takes villagers to take care of the village. I know people like to say it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes villagers to take care of the village. I don't really revere going to a clinic that's taking care of the village. If you hit in the clinic, we've already got problems. Let's take care of things before they become problematic. Let's take care of things before they become problematic. But these things here, I mean, we talk about burning sensations. Burning sensations. That can happen with a boy when he urinates. If he got a stinging in there, he could easily be dealing with a bacteria issue. And bacteria can creep into that tract if he's not cleaning himself properly. If he is now engaging in illicit sexual behavior with one or more young girls and not cleaning himself properly, and she's not cleaning herself properly. These are very, very uncomfortable discussions to have with children, but you've got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You got to lift them. They don't need to just be lifted when you go to jail and they say lift them. No, you got to lift them to clean them. If you don't lift them to clean them, if you just running water across the front of them, it ain't happening. Things aren't happening the right way. They need to be lifted and go side to side, and you need to be hitting all the angles in there. There's a lot of crevices in there. And if you leave any area unattended, you can have a problem on your hands, figuratively and literally. And you got hair growing down there. And if you're not cleaning that properly, you're going to get ingrown hairs with bacteria. It can cause all types of things, boils and cysts and all types of things. Cleanliness is next to godliness. Because if you don't have cleanliness, you're going to be next to the clinic. It's plain and simple. Is that a song? Because that sounds like a rap. Run out and get your Jimmy hats because it costs so little for a 3-pack. It's Jimmy hats for the winter attack. That sounds like a song, but I don't know the song. But before you're going to put a Jimmy hat for the winter attack with that 3-pack, you need to clean that, Jack. That's the way I see it. I don't think you should even be thinking about putting that thing in somebody unless you have made sure that it's clean and make sure that it's healthy. Ain't no point in you putting it in a condom if it's bad. You ain't doing nothing but bagging up bacteria. Jim Browski, okay. I remember that song. I don't remember those lyrics. Y'all be knowing some obscure shit. Y'all be remembering I remember certain lyrics from songs back in the day. And I remember the Jungle Brothers. Absolutely. I wish that clique could have stayed together. Jungle Brothers, Queen Latifah, De La Soul. Who else is in there? Tribe Called Quest. Oh, I wish all them cats could have really stayed together. That was beautiful. Jim Browski. Run out and get your Jimmy hats. It costs so little for a 3-pack. It's the Jimmy hats for the winter attack. I get it. So, yeah, man, we got to be able to talk about these things. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We different. I'm not saying that other people didn't learn rap lyrics, but we didn't really learn rap lyrics at AAPS. We read books along with listening to them. Indeed. They don't have cliques like that no more, where everybody can just spit that hot fire. Everybody's on that individual tip. Even when they do have collabos and stuff, it don't be like real collabos. It be on some different mess. It'd be like 2 whole songs. It's not like they're doing anything collective. It is what it is. But yeah, I really wanted to come in and talk about this today to really get the conversation started, because I'm seeing a lot of things not only online but out, and I believe that teen sex is definitely a major contributor to the spikes in sexually transmitted diseases. It's definitely part of the spikes teen pregnancy. That obviously makes sense there. And this is why I was not a huge fan of everybody making such a huge deal of the abortion laws. There has to be education with reproductive health, not just that we're able to abort babies. Reproductive health is so much more than just being able to legally get an abortion. Yes. Yes. And this is why it's so important, because where people don't think that young men are vulnerable to these things, they indeed are. Yeast infection, genital warts, all types of things that come about. Where you mostly hear about young ladies getting them, young men are susceptible to catching these things as well. And we're going to speak about it. We're going to speak on things that really matter out here. I have no problem with what anybody else does with their microphone, with their camera. But I can't talk about useless things no more, y'all. We got too many people that need us to be able to talk about things that really matter out here. And some folks are just stuck on what they stuck on. They want to talk about entertainment. They want to talk about music. They want to talk about, this, that, and the other. That's them. I have no problem with that. Not going to condemn that, because sometimes you can only talk about what you really know. See, if you ain't really up in this situation the right way, then I don't expect anything more of you, and I can't command or demand anything more of you. So my respect level will start and stop with you. If you can only talk about music, I don't need you out here talking about reparations. And if you can only talk about reparations, then I don't need you talking about music. Stay in your lane. We need to be in the position of staying in our lane and controlling our lane and delegating in our lane. What is BV? Sometimes it can be as simple as not rinsing the soap off the private areas correctly. So we hadn't really got to that. You kind of jumped the shark, and seeing that I don't have a whole lot of stuff put down, I go off the dome. I was talking about the lack of cleaning. The lack of cleaning. But what about when the kids are cleaning themselves? Having unnecessary soap pockets left in your private areas can cause inflammation. That can cause problems in the private areas too. Thanks, cuz. Sister Cynthia, how you doing today? Bacterial vaginosis. And understanding that obviously sounds like it comes from the female. If she's having unprotected sex with a male, that is something that is contagious, sounds like. So then it now becomes a disease that the male is carrying. Can he pass that on to another female? I would think logically so. Or does it die within his transmission from her? Because that's an issue. And you say that it cannot even be detected, cannot be screened. That's crazy to me. We still have things in 2022, almost going into 2023, that they can't even screen for, that they can't even detect. So why would we be messing around? If the kids are going to be out there, we need to make sure that they are strapping up. We need to make sure that these young girls are clean in the lower regions. If we know that they're going to do, we at least got to put ourselves together and have ourselves have a fighting chance. We don't have a fighting chance if we're not taking care of business at home, making sure that they're clean, making sure that they're using protection, making sure that their undergarments are clean, I see a lot of these young girls now trying to dress like they mamas. I'm hearing about young girls shopping at Victoria's Secret. Should no young girl be able to go get panties from Victoria's Secret? Those are not fruitful panties for a young girl. Victoria's Secret's made for somebody else. That's made for a grown woman. You shouldn't have no teenager going up in Victoria's Secret getting no draws. Victoria's Secret's for grown women. She need to be getting her drawers still in the 3 and the 5, 7 pack. Her drawers shouldn't come like one pair of underwear right off the rack on a hanger. Wow. So yeah, we got to watch out for that BV. But yeah, we got too many young girls shopping at Victoria's Secret. I don't even go to the mall that much. And when I go to the mall and I see youngins walk, I'm like, what? They need to have an over 18 situation in Victoria's Secret. And anywhere where they sell lingerie panties, should no young girl be wearing that stuff? That's not made to be protecting them. Cotton drawers for the young girls. Cotton drawers. Yes. We touched on that earlier, Sister Cynthia. Absolutely. I mean, we talked about the lack of cleanliness, and then Kimi brought up the fact that unwanted, unleft soap deposits around that area can cause problems too. So even in the attempt to clean, you can actually go wrong. Get your ass to Walmart. Yeah, cotton. Yeah, look, cotton drawers is what they need to be having. All this silk and satin stuff, that ain't for no youngin'. That ain't for no youngin'. Telling you. But speaking on these things, we have to get to a comfortable level of it. And I'm going to develop a cast to where I want young folks to be able to come on. You know, I want to catch some of them mid-20s, males and females, and hear what their perspective of these things are. They talk about things all online. I want them to get on here and talk about what they're experiencing out here in the world. I don't want no teenagers on my cast, because the way I feel about it anyway, they shouldn't be doing that, but I'm a realist, and I know they're doing it. The parents need to just be taking the proper precautions. Absolutely. It's a multi-generational failure. The parents aren't teaching it to their kids because they weren't taught by their parents. I get it. So the buck's got to stop somewhere, and that's here. That's here. Freedom Media ain't here to talk to nothing about nobody. I'll bring any conversation to anybody. And when I see that what's happening out here in these streets, I'm not going to allow myself to stay quiet. I'm not going to allow myself to pick the easy subjects. It's easy to pick the easy subjects, y'all. I could pick easy topics all day long. But who am I to do that? And if I say I'm on 10, I'm on 10. I can't really say I'm on 10 if this is what I'm doing out here. I'm not really on 10 if I just want to throw the softballs out there. And I don't want to throw the fastballs out there. I want to throw some sliders. I want to throw some curveballs. I'm going to throw some knuckleballs. But see, a lot of these people out here, they just want to get on the mic and talk about the easy stuff. It's easy to talk about the easy stuff. Absolutely, sis. We cannot remain silent. These are the people that's supposed to be taking care of us in years to come. Well, is Georgia thinking about that? Is Georgia thinking about that? Disturbing, spikes in sexually transmitted diseases in Georgia. And I know about them to be in Michigan as well. And I know about them to be in Texas as well. And I know about them to be in Nevada as well. I bet you there are sexually transmitted disease hikes in more than half the states in the union, but ain't nobody talking about it. Ain't nobody talking about it. We want to talk about the easy stuff. We want to talk about the fun stuff. We can talk about that after we talk about the news, the real news. That's why I'm going to stay on 10. I'm going to stay on 10. Look at this. Montgomery County, Ohio. Syphilis is off the chain. Off the chain. What'd you say, Shell? You still have grown men using Summer's Eve. You got problems out here, okay? Let me tell you something. Look. I'm not sure why he's using Summer's Eve, but he obviously didn't get the proper guidance from his daddy or his brother or his uncle or his grandfather. That's a shame. Summer's Eve, that's a hot boy for sure. What is he doing using Summer's Eve? Got a lot of ignorance out here. Got a lot of ignorance out here. I'm going to try to get up out of here in about 60 minutes. I'm just not seeing the sincerity from a lot of the younger parents knowing that they've got preteens and teens that are out here possibly engaging in sexual behavior, but they want to holler and scream. They want to holler and scream when the girl gets pregnant, when that boy gets a little girl pregnant. Where were you before all this happened in the whole scheme of things? Oh, okay. Grown women. Okay, grown women. Okay. I think I had that backwards. I don't think I saw women. I thought I saw men. I'm like, why would a man be using Summer's Eve? But yeah, I guess in that case, okay. They got to do something to take care of that. And that's all I'll say on that one. So it is what it is. Till it ain't. Woo. Okay. What I also want to talk about, because I know a lot of people like to talk about music. If anybody's letting their kids listen to the filth that comes across the airwaves now, and I don't really listen to terrestrial radio. Every now and then you might catch me just surfing through to hear some of that trash that they play on the airwaves, but I don't be all up and down the dial the way I used to. I don't have any need for it. I got YouTube music. Commercial free, pick a song that I want to hear, pick a group that I want to hear. I got my mixes that I like to hear. I don't need to hear none of that foolishness. All the greatest music that was made or that's going to be made has been made. We're not going to see great music like we had in the past. There ain't even no point trying. Even some of the musical producers who might still be living, They're not even interested in making great music anymore. But most of the great musical pioneers, they've gone on or they're retired. They're out of sync. Young parents aren't informed. I talked to a young lady at 26. She had no clue how to care for her son's circumcision. That's a shame. That's a shame. So daddy obviously ain't even around, because she shouldn't even be dealing with him and his wee. That's daddy's duties. That's daddy's duties. Okay. And who gave him the proper knowledge of how to put the condom on and even how to take the condom off and dispose of it? Did you have to do all of that too? I mean, I understand if you did, mama's got to do what a mama's got to do. But you got to understand that's there is a whole duty there. Well, before he goes inside, he's got to know how to apply. I get it. Stay there, Sister Cynthia. I know it's a generation gap, but damn, the lyrics coming out are filthy. I'm going to play something, and it's not even going to be a song, but I guess she's one of the hot artists out now. And there ain't no way her pH balance ain't off. I know her pH balance got to be off. The way she talks, I can tell her pH balance is on fire. There's no way she's staying clean. And yes, I'm accusing. But some of these, I mean, I've gotten past the Cardi B's. I've gotten past the Nickies. I've gotten past the Megan Th's. Now I'm dealing with a Glorilla. Disclaimer 107, this is for fair use. This is not slander. No, it's not slander. What I'm about to show is going to come right out of Glorilla's mouth in more ways than one. Good. You got to give them visual aids. You got to give them props, you know. And then you, hey, man, get your practice in here. Yes, I would imagine so. Most boys are going to say no. Now, I'm not sure exactly who taught you that, but I'm glad that they put you up on game. But this Glorilla thing, she's something else. She is something else, and I can't deal with it. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I can't deal with it. To me, she's a problem. She is a real problem. And I know she's being revered as some top musical artist at this point, but I'm like, how? How do you see her as somebody that's fruitful out here for youngins to listen to? And I'm hoping that youngins aren't listening to this thing. But I pulled something off of a show that she's on, and the reason I did it for twofold here: to expose the debauchery, to expose the blatant nastiness and lack of self-respect that she has for herself, but also to expose somebody that I've really never had any respect for. She recently left the Breakfast Club, I guess, to go do her own thing. And I know that this has been her thing for a while. She's had her own podcast. You know, the Breakfast Club wasn't a big enough platform for a sideshow chick. Because that's all Angela Yee is a sideshow chick, you know. And when they brought her out here at Ipsy to pass out backpacks for the back to school festival, I'm like, why would you bring this harlot out? She is nowhere near any good for young girls. And I know everybody knows the Breakfast Club, and they know Charlamagne and DJ Envy, and they know Angela Yee. But I don't care. That's not who our young girls need to be looking up to. Glorilla is a straight hood chick who had a catchy hook. She's embarrassing. She absolutely is embarrassing. I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to really grow into himself, Kimi. You know you've had what times you've had with him, but I think he's going to grow into himself. And he's had enough living around him to really see the right ways to go. But I got to get on this Glorilla thing. She saw some things that I don't truly believe really manifested until after gangster rap really got into the natural flow of things. This stuff today is not gangster rap. This sexually laden filth is not gangster rap. There were sexually explicit songs, but this stuff here today is nasty. It's nasty. But let me play this so y'all can understand where I'm at with it. You see if I can share this screen. Yeah. We'll share that. We're going to get that up. Let's stop this music here so it doesn't impede anything. And just listen to this mess. Because it's mess. I mean, it's literally mess. And for them to allow this to persist and be within our kids' reach, I just think we're in a jacked up way. Want to make sure the audio is going through.
You think if people were like, if I had to say about Glorilla in bed, she is nasty,
y'all
freaky.
Be doing some nasty, like y'all do some shit that I never heard of.
Like what?
We need the examples.
Ooh.
Okay, so y'all do drink nut, right?
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
swallow.
Okay,
We just say
so-
swallow. Drink nut sound
Like,
nasty.
Drink nut does sound
It sounds
nasty.
nasty.
I actually
But
didn't think about
we
what
say
she said.
swallow.
I swallow, I don't drink nut. But go
I
ahead.
haven't, but I'm looking forward
Swallow's
to.
classy.
Like, same thing. It's just so corny to me. Oh my God. But it's like
Uh-oh.
I'm scared.
it's some weird shit. But okay, same thing, we just got done eating, right?
Mhm.
Don't worry about it.
No, just
Tell us.
it's you too far in now.
This is, yeah.
Alright, so same thing, we just got done eating, then we had sex right after. And some food, and I'm gonna still eat it. So if people know, like, none of my food, I'm gonna eat.
It's like dressing.
I like,
It
just cut my
is.
fries real quick, and I'm gonna eat it.
None of my fries.
That is crazy. I've never even
That
thought
is a
to do
little
that.
nasty too, you think? If people were like, if I had to say about Glorilla in bed, she is nasty,
Y'all be
freaky.
doing some nasty, like y'all do some shit that I never heard of.
Like what?
We need the examples.
Ooh.
Okay, so y'all do drink nut, right?
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
swallow.
Okay,
We just say
swallow,
swallow.
yeah.
Drink nut sound
Like,
nasty.
Drink nut does sound
It sounds
nasty.
nasty.
I actually
But
didn't think about
we
what
say
she said.
swallow.
I swallow, I don't drink nut. But go
I
ahead.
haven't, but I'm looking forward
Swallow's
to.
classy.
Like, same thing. It's just so corny to me. Oh my God. But it's like
Uh-oh.
I'm scared.
It's some weird shit. But okay, say we just got done eating, right?
Mhm.
Don't worry about it. I ain't
No, just tell us.
You too far in now.
This, yeah.
All right, so say we just got done eating, then we had sex right after. And some food, and I'm gonna still eat it. So if people know, like, none of my food, I'm gonna eat.
It's like dressing.
I mean, y'all letting y'all young girls listen to this stuff? Y'all letting y'all young girls watch Angela Yee? That's who you want passing out backpacks at the back to school festival? Really? I mean, we've got to figure some things out. If that's the best we can get to take the selfies and make the Snap videos and the TikTok videos with Angela Yee, that's who the girls at Ipsy schools deserve to take pictures with before school started this year. That's what y'all did. That's what y'all did. That's what y'all put together. That's what y'all promoted. That, and I'm not saying Glorilla, I'm saying Angela Yee. She's the facilitator of that mess. She's the host of that show. It's horrible. It's worse than horrible. It's deplorable. And I don't understand how anybody could put themselves in a position to where they would think that it's okay to allow any of that in their household. And I'm not on no self-righteous kick. I ain't up on the ladder. I ain't up on the soapbox. But this is crazy. This is nuts to even think that someone like that should be in earshot of our young girls, boys, whomever. She means nobody no good, especially children. Is she what they call the modern woman? She a modern woman? Ain't nothing modern about her. Been hoes for hundreds of years. Been hoes for there's nothing modern about her. Fake lashes, fake hair. She probably got fake breasts. I don't even look at her, so I don't even know. When I found out her name was Glorilla, I'm like, that sounds like Gorilla. Why would I want to look at a monkey? She sounds like a monkey. Her name is Glorilla. She's one letter off from being a gorilla. Why would I want to look at that? But that's what we're on right now. That's what's happening out here right now. And people like Angela Yee are uplifted in our communities to come to back to school festivals, pass out backpacks and all types of stuff, take pictures. And then she puts podcasts up like this, telling you y'all fighting the wrong person. Y'all fighting the wrong person. Fight the people that put people like Angela Yee in play. She's more detrimental to society, to Black society, than anybody I know could ever be, let alone me. Because that's who you're allowing your daughters and your sons to listen to. Glorilla. Okay. So I appreciate everybody that checked out this cast today. We're going to be here. I'm actually heading out to the Christmas tree giveaway. Got a lot of reservations today. That was beautiful. Today we're 5 to 7. If you're hitting it on the fly, you're probably not already reserved. You're probably not coming, so I get it. But if you're hitting it on the fly, I'll hit you back. But if I get out there and I don't have any signal, sorry. But we will be up at 11 to 1 on Saturday. If you want to reserve a spot to come in and get a tree on Saturday, 11 to 1, please be there. Inbox me. I'll get you the address, and we'll move forward amicably. But I appreciate everybody that's checked this out. Shell, Kimi Kali, heard about Cousin Bobby, Sister Free, Sister Cynthia. Genital health is really important. We've got to be in the boys' ears. We've got to be in the young girls' ears, and we've got to make sure they're doing the right things by their bodies. It's a tough conversation to have. But what's even tougher is dealing with the repercussions for not having the conversations. So we need to be up on that. We need to be up on that. No doubt. I wish I could have talked to him before he got up out of here. Love that laugh, that big laugh he had, man. So we're going to get back sooner than you think. Make sure y'all checking out the ones in the cars. The ones in the cars, a lot of them I'm doing now when I'm leaving the school. I met with the principal today. Did one earlier. Make sure you check that one out. Great meeting with the principal over at Ipsy Middle. I thought it was a great meeting. She actually hit me back later when she saw one of my posts because she thought I was at her about something, but, you know, I had to explain my sarcastic nature, so it was a beautiful thing. But we all in. We in for these kids. We got to be in for these kids. And for all those that don't like me, I get it, man. If I was y'all, I wouldn't like me either. But as I state, my purpose is to share things that you may not see anywhere else. As a result, some of my posts may offend you at some point or another, either on purpose or accidentally, because I am petty. Sometimes I will offend you purposely. Whatever the case, feel free to unfollow if you can't get over it. I'd like to think that they wouldn't want to be me, but they'd want to be somebody else. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't want to be nobody else because I don't know how to be nobody else. I'm still learning how to be me. But it is what it is. You can always change the channel. Because if you keep it here, you better understand I'm on 10. Absolutely right, Sister Cynthia. Healthy communication is important. It's not only important, it's a must. When we stop communicating, we start perishing. So y'all be good out here. We'll talk the next time. Or not. One love.
Rhymes Concerto.